Hello friends, it's Dr. Ladda here, and in today's class we are going to deal with the next topic from paper second, and that is a topic for 20 mark questions. So the today's topic is testes. Friends, in male reproductive organ, testes play a major role. So like the ovaries in the female, testes are the male reproductive organs. It is same with the ovaries, means you can write the word, it is homologous with the ovaries. Now the testes, they are in the scrotum. The scrotum, they are with the hanging position in the scrotum, and the testes, they are two and they lie in the scrotum in oblique direction. In oblique direction, so that the upper pole of the testes lies forward and laterally. Upper pole of the testes lies forward and laterally, but natural, the lower pole of the testes lies backward and medially. So the upper pole of the testes lies forward and laterally, and it has other different features. And like the kidney, we know the right kidney is little lower than the left kidney. Here the opposite ratio is the left testis is little lower compared to the right testis. Right testis is little upper and left testis is little lower. Now this is up to the introduction of the testes, and for long question, for 10 mark questions, even for 5 mark questions, you are supposed to start with the introduction so that it will create a fine impression of your answer. Now the shape, size and dimensions of the testes. The testis is oval shaped organ. It is oval shaped organ, means it is oval, it is not round, it is oval shaped organ. To create the oval shaped, both sides are compressed, means the testis get compressed from both sides, so it will get a oval shape. It is 3.75 centimeter long and 2.5 centimeter broad from before backward, means it is broad from before backward it is broad. How much broad? 2.5 centimeter. And how much long it is? 3.75 centimeter. It is, the thickness is 1.8 centimeter. It is 1.8 centimeter thick, and the weight of adult testis is 15 gram. So this is about the shape, size. Now we are moving with the external features of the testes. As we are knowing, the testis is oval shaped. So if the shape is oval, it has poles, it has borders and it has surfaces. So testis has two poles, testis has two borders and testis has two surfaces. Now let's talk one by one. Testis has two poles, one is upper and one is lower pole. These both poles, they are convex. Both poles are convex and very smooth. Both poles are convex and smooth. The upper pole of the testis, it provides attachment to the spermatic cord. Upper pole provide attachment to the spermatic cord. This is about the poles of the testis. Testis have two poles, one is upper pole and one is lower pole. Both poles are convex and smooth, and upper pole provides attachment to the spermatic cord. Now the next one, external feature, that is borders. So this testis have two borders, one border towards anterior side and one border towards posterior side. Means testis has anterior border and the posterior border. Now if I am looking carefully to the testes, I am finding that anterior border of the testis is convex and smooth. It is convex and smooth, and it is totally covered, fully covered by tunica vaginalis, a covering of the testis. It is totally covered by the covering of the testis, and that covering is known as tunica vaginalis. Whereas the posterior border of the testis is straight. It is not convex or concave. It is straight and is only partially covered by the covering, that is tunica vaginalis. The epididymis lies along the lateral part of epididymis lies along the lateral part of posterior border. So this is about the borders. Testis has two borders. One is anterior border, one is posterior border. Anterior border is convex and smooth, and it is totally covered by a covering of the testis, tunica vaginalis. Whereas posterior border is straight and it is partially covered by the covering, tunica vaginalis. And the epididymis lies along the lateral part of posterior border. Lateral part of posterior border. So these are the borders of the testes. Now surfaces. There are two surfaces. If I am talking that it is anterior border and it is posterior border, it is upper pole and it is lower pole, but natural. Now the surfaces are lateral surface and medial surface. Surfaces are lateral surface and medial surface. Both these surfaces are convex and smooth. Means one border and two surfaces are convex and smooth. Only one border which is straight, and that is posterior border of the testes. Now the next one is coverings of the testes. Next one is coverings of the testes. Testes are in the scrotum. Yeah, in the scrotum. Two testes are in the scrotum. Means the one covering of the testes is scrotum, outer covering, and the second covering of the testes is three coats. Testes is covered by scrotum and three coats. Now let's move one by one. Now about the scrotum. As we know, the scrotum is cutaneous sac. It is made up of skin. It is a sac. It is cutaneous sac. Why it is there? To protect the testes. To protect the testes. And this scrotum consists of two layers. This scrotum consists of two layers. The superficial layer of the scrotum is of the skin, and the deep layer of the scrotum is dartos fascia. Superficial layer is made up of the skin, whereas the deep layer of the scrotum is made up of dartos fascia. The muscle fibers of the dartos fascia contract the use of role of dartos fascia. The muscle fibers of dartos fascia contracts during cold climate, which helps to shrink the scrotal sac, and this will help to prevent the heat loss from the body during winter or during cold weather. So this is about the scrotum. Among three layers, the first is tunica vaginalis. So this tunica vaginalis, it has two layers. It has two layers. One is parietal layer and second one is visceral layer. Means layers which is toward the which is toward the testes is visceral layer, and which is outside, that is parietal layer. So the parietal layer is larger than the visceral layer. Parietal layer is larger than the visceral layer. This parietal layer covers the distal part. It is proximal and distal. The distal part of the parietal layer covers the distal part of the spermatic cord and the duct of epididymis. This covers the distal part of spermatic cord and the duct of epididymis. Then it continue over the visceral layer. Now it is covering this and then continue with the visceral layer of tunica vaginalis. Between the layers, in between these two layers, there is a serous fluid. In between these two layers, there is a serous fluid that prevent the friction and allow testes to move in the scrotum, to move freely in the scrotum. Means these two layers, this is outer layer, this is inner layer. Now this layer is running like this and it is covering the spermatic cord and your distal part of the spermatic cord and the duct of epididymis, and now it is coming down and it continues as a with the visceral layer, and now in between these two layers there is a fluid, and that fluid, which type of fluid? Serous fluid, and that fluid allow the testes to move smoothly inside the scrotum. So this is about the parietal layer. About the visceral layer, so the visceral layer cover the testes. Visceral layer means which is towards, means attached to the testes. It covered the testes, it covered the head of epididymis and the inferior part of ductus deferens. So these three parts means testes, head of epididymis and ductus deferens. These three things, testes, head of, this is a posterior border and lateral side, and this is epididymis and head of epididymis, testes, head of epididymis and ductus deferens. They are covered by the visceral layer. Now the next layer of the testes is tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea. So it is a dense white fibrous layer. It is a dense outer layer is protecting layer which helps to protect and cover. Okay, now there is need of strength, there is need of tightness, there is need of one more firm protection, and this protection is provided by this second layer. This second layer, that is tunica albuginea. So this tunica albuginea is a dense fibrous coat covering the testes all around. It is not deficit anywhere like the tunica vaginalis, which is deficit toward the posterior border. It is not deficit. It covers the whole testis. It is made up of the fibrous tissue, white fibrous tissue. It is a white fibrous coat covering the whole testis. It is covered by, we know visceral layer is outer layer. Now inside visceral there is tunica albuginea. So it is covered by visceral layer of tunica vaginalis, except the place where the testicular nerves and the vessel enter the gland. That portion from where the testicular nerves and veins, vessels are entering the gland, that portion remain patent or not covered by this tunica vaginalis. Rest of the part of tunica albuginea means outer side, it is covered by the tunica vaginalis. The thickened posterior border of tunica albuginea forms an incomplete vertical septum called as mediastinum of the testes. Now this is anterior, this is posterior border. Toward the posterior border also there is tunica albuginea. As we know, the tunica albuginea is covering whole of the testes, but the posterior part of the tunica albuginea, it get little thicker, and this thickened posterior border of the tunica albuginea forms an incomplete vertical septum. It is not complete septum, it is incomplete vertical septum, and this vertical septum is called as mediastinum of the testes. Yeah, or you can say mediastinum testis. So this is what about the tunica albuginea, second layer. Now the third layer, and third layer is tunica vascularia. So tunica vasculosa, vasculosa means vessels. So this tunica vasculosa is the innermost layer, and it is a layer of vessels. It is a vascular layer of the testes. lining its lobes. Lining its lobes. So this is about the three layers of the testes.